Good morning, everybody. I would like to start off by asking you to think for a second about how you think the outcomes of World War III will be. Everyone in this room would have a different image in their mind. Some might imagine a world ruled by AI, possibly anarchy, a single global government, or humanity being wiped out entirely. Einstein had his own opinion. He said that World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. Translation: if we mess this up, we're pretty much going back to caveman mode. First, I would like to start off by speaking about the outcomes of a non-nuclear war. After around 100 to 300 million people die, the outcomes could be more complicated than a nuclear war. I would like to start off by predicting a global economy crash. We know that a lot of countries depend highly on the United States of America. And judging by the effects that Trump's tariffs have had on the world, if the United States were to disappear completely, it would lead to a global economic meltdown. Now, I want to move on to the more interesting bit. What if World War III turns nuclear? If so, the war will likely last about 1 day in what will likely be the worst day in human history. Around 100% of humans could die, or around 99% according to British philosopher Derek Parfit. But the question remains, what is the fate of the remaining 1%? Let's call them Group X, because Group X sounds a bit better than the leftovers. In the case of a mini ice age caused by the smoke and soot blocking out the sun, all crops in the world will die. Global famine. Great. And miraculously, if they do find their way around that, then they'll be wiped out by radiation poisoning. Great. But in the heat of it all, or I might say in the cold of it all, one continent is likely to emerge completely unscathed. And that continent is Oceania. Oceania is a relatively quiet and neutral continent, and is also geographically isolated. So who's to say they must really get involved? And who's to say they, along countries like Iceland, will be affected at all? And this leads me to my next point. Life, possibly, may still flourish. So far, I've only really talked about the doom and gloom. But what if humanity gets rebooted? 200 years ago, we created a small matchbox to light a small fire. So, will humanity be forced to wait out the mini ice age, which will likely last around 1,000 years? Or will they create what I would like to call a global heater? So, if this is the case, then Group X will be able to reunite, considering vaccines have probably been invented by this point. So, I would like you to think again. How do you think the world will move on? One way is to have a single global government. Sounds great, right? No more borders, no more discrimination, no more tensions. World peace achieved at last after thousands and thousands of years. But knowing humans, that's probably not going to happen. What might happen, however, is societies being formed based on moral and cultural values, or maybe even opinions on why the war happened. We could form societies based on our religious opinions too, or maybe AI could rule the world, erasing human emotion from interfering with global decisions. So far, I've said my opinion on what will be the possible outcomes of World War III. What do you think will lie under the rubble? Thank you for listening, and if the world does end, at least you can say you heard it here first. Thank you.